So not for lack of trying, I didn't make it to the mall. Oh my God. But I did walk pretty much non-stop, except when I had to stop for traffic lights or across streets or to, flip back and forth from radio stations or from my MP3s to radio stations, depending on my mood or whatnot. The crazy thing is, I ate even more than I had intended to. I had my apple, my pear, my serving of sunflower seeds, which is like a quarter of a cup. I had my tablespoon of the pecan cashew nut butter, and then I had a little bit of I had my leftover from yesterday soup with the rice and beans. It wasn't a lot, but God, I've power walked for 4.6 miles on fasting days. But I've reached a conclusion about my body anyway. It might not apply to everybody. Sometimes if I eat nothing, I can be okay. But if I've eaten not enough and I go out walking or even sometimes just existing without even exercising, just in my day-to-day activities, I feel sick. At hour and 15 minutes of basically, the other day when I fasted, I walked Homer for an hour and I was fine, but I walk him, a lot more slowly than I walk when I'm by myself. It doesn't matter if it's rational, it doesn't matter if it makes sense or not. An hour and 15 minutes, I was going to wait for the bus because I realized that there's no way to get to the mall by walking. He was wrong, there was no sidewalk, but I still walked an hour and 15 minutes. I felt at that point sick, as in throw up sick. So I came home here, and even before feeding him, I had to take a few bites of rice. I want to be careful, because when you feel sick, if you eat too fast, you can throw up. But obviously my body used all the fuel up, and then it got mad. I felt throw up sick, that awful kind where you just, I really pushed myself. And like Hope, Donald's mom was fond of saying, tomorrow's another day. Because she said it for reasons that I didn't like. Remember, she wasn't rich. Of course she wasn't. She was poor. But, she'd have no problem, blowing $100 gambling or something, And I used to hate it when she'd make food and she always has to save a tiny bit of it. Why can't we just enjoy it, And you have to remember too, I've said this before, but yeah, those last 2.5 years I was living there rent free. But think of all the years that I paid more than my share of expenses there. His mom moved out, got married, came back, was living with us, and we were paying me and Donald, a lot more than she was, but whatever, I figure, I know how I was looking at it. Look what Donald had done to me, I hadn't worked for years, but he had nearly killed me, not cared. I was traumatized before that. I'd worked my whole life. And when I wasn't working full-time, or just about full-time, was when I was going to school, going to college, so that's how I saw it. Other people will say, well, you were staying there for free for 2.5 years. You should have, yeah. I was. And I should have left. And then when I wanted to leave, I couldn't leave Omar. I don't know. I did what I did, And they did a lot worse to me, both of them. In the end, that's how I looked at it. They did a lot worse, a lot worse. So anyway, came home. Now this is 2 of those ginger nori crackers from Lydia's Organics. And I took my brown rice and I added some Wild Planet pink salmon and a little bit of Spectrum organic mayonnaise. I must have pushed myself because my body's just not such as, I don't know. All I know is that I've eaten less before and not felt sick like that. He's in here with me, not because he can have any of this, but he doesn't know that. But, but because it's his time to go his 3rd set of poo-poo for the day, you know. I was going to go to the mall the way my roommate said. I actually called him from the road, and I'm like, you didn't know if there was a sidewalk all the way to the mall. He thought it was like 4.5 or something miles, 4 to 4.5 miles. But I said, there's not even a sidewalk right here, right at the beginning. I'm like, I can't go this way. And then I decided to go the way I thought that the bus I take goes, and I actually saw the bus go by me, and I actually saw it go down a certain way, but then I think it goes over a highway or something, so I can't walk to the mall. I mean, it's not a big tragedy. I mean, I walked an hour and 15 minutes today. I still walked for miles. If I walked an hour and 15 minutes, I walked for miles, okay? I guess I don't think I'll be walking home, or I think I did good for today, you know. I'm eating very slowly, though. I don't like that feeling when you feel sick because you've pushed yourself exercising and don't have enough fuel in you, you know. Like I said, but sometimes I can eat a lot less and I'm fine. I don't know. Our body's weird. At least mine is. My roommate was saying to me last night, he's like, geez, he thinks Omar's shedding down worse than his dog, and that's saying something. I'm like, probably. I spent a little bit of time yesterday sweeping, you know.